Who is Plato? Plato was an ancient Greek who lived from 428 BC to 348 BC. He was a member of the Athenian aristocracy. As a young man of the Athenian upper echelon, he would have been educated in the works of Cratylus, Pythagoras, and Parmenides. These doctrines would teach him what a young aristocrat was supposed to know about metaphysics and epistemology. Early in his life, Plato met Socrates. Plato would become Socrates' most well-known pupil. What made this significant was the style of Socrates' debate and dialogue, which was supposed to oppose ideas through questions. For example, instead of giving the listener or reader a proposed idea, Socrates would give him a question to think through and have the answer concluded on yourself. The dialogue style is the basis of Western logic and is still used today. While Plato was learning from Socrates, a conflict known as the Peloponnesian War was going on. This conflict started in 431 BC, just a couple years before Plato's birth. Well, Plato, being the good Athenian he was, went and joined the Athenian army to fight off the expansionist Spartans. Plato and the rest of the Athenian army returned defeated, and the Athenian system of democracy is replaced with a Spartan-style oligarchy. For a couple of years, the Athenians are led by a series of tyrants known as the 30 tyrants, some of which are Plato's own kin. Eventually, the rule of oligarchy ends and the Athenians reinstate democracy. Plato toyed at the idea of being a statesman, like much of his family. But just as Plato's life of politics is going to start, his mentor Socrates is executed for heresy. This changes focus for the young, yet seasoned Plato. He decides to take up his mentor's banner, and he decides to dedicate his life to explaining and expanding on the ideas of Socrates. To do this, he first wants to see more of the world. Plato decides to travel around the known world of the time, traveling to Syracuse, modern-day Sicily, to learn more about mathematics from the Pythagoreans, and then to Egypt, where he studied geometry, geology, astronomy, and religion. While on this study abroad, Plato is writing down what he learned from Socrates and adding his own anecdotes and additions. He does this for 12 years before return to Athens. 12 years later, roughly in 385 BC, Plato sets up the world's first institution of higher learning, the Academy. Here, Plato would write some of the greatest works and really starts forming more of his own ideas. During this period, roughly 365 BC, Plato writes The Republic, which by many is considered Plato's magnum opus. It hits on ideas such as justice, courage, wisdom, moderation, and the relationship between individuals and society. While Plato is teaching and running the Academy, he is asked to go back to Syracuse and teach the young Dionysius II, the son of Dion, king of Syracuse. In 367 BC, Plato does just that, teaching and instructing young Dionysius II on Socratic dialogue and Platonic thought. While Dion thinks Plato and Dionysius are conspiring against him, exiles Dionysius and puts Plato under house arrest. Plato continues writing at this time and eventually is set free. He returns to the Academy, where he takes on a new pupil named Aristotle, who will become Plato's most well-known pupil. Plato continues teaching at the Academy until the age of 80, where he dies in his sleep in the year 348 BC. So much can be learned from the life of Plato and his works. Studying the man alone allows us to learn more about Greek aristocracy, government, the conflicts and military of the Greek city-states, and the founding of Western institutions such as the Academy. Works of Plato such as the Apology of Socrates, Ion, and the Republic echo throughout history, and much of Western philosophy is based on the works of Plato. Many historians of philosophy agree that all of philosophy is merely footnotes to Plato. Hey, thanks for watching this video, and keep an eye out for more videos on this subject.